Welcome, welcome. It's crazy how hot it is today. I thought it was supposed to be winter time. waiting for one more to see if Jennifer joins us. Michelle won't be joining us today. All right, let's everybody look in.
Does Barry have a gym membership?
No, he's snuck in. I snuck him in the back door. He's an illegal. All right. So yeah, let's everybody look in. So just catch me up. Last week Molly subbed for me. Can you guys do you guys remember what you went over in class last week on Monday? And I'll see if I can piggyback off of what she taught, starting with Cha, since you're closest to the camera.
We're trying to remember, and the only detail we've remembered so far is that arm, this detail of grabbing the arm to control it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we were working escapes.
And this one hand, this control of back to back with the one hand across on the head trapping. And then we practice regaining the back as someone beats the hook in the knee. And yeah.
So how did you guys regain the back last week when somebody beat the bottom hook?
So place the other foot on the ground. Escape kind of thing.
So you want to do it? You do it.
You do it. I don't remember. I'm just saying stuff. She like places this foot on the ground or that foot.
Yep.
Here.
Nice.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. And yeah, awesome to the other side.
Perfect. Awesome. Is there any additional details you remember, Amy, or was that pretty much it?
The escape Cha just showed, I think she didn't cover last week. It must have been a Tuesday class I didn't go to.
Maybe it
If
was a
that
Tuesday.
helps at all.
Okay.
But yeah, she covered the like closed circle on the underside, and then she covered 3 different ways to triangle across the body on the outside, across the body between the legs, and then 1 leg trapped and 1 leg free. And then we went through the standard escape that a person might do, going out of like the side when you fall to the control arm. But she didn't cover like how to recover from those, at least in the classes I was in.
Okay, so we're gonna keep with how to maintain control of the back today. Okay. Before we do that, Amy, can you go over the 3 triangle things you were talking about that she did was it from the back?
Yeah, it was how to prevent them from beating that bottom hook. So if you fall to this side, it was this triangle, and then the one in the middle, and then the one behind.
Nice.
Then as a bonus, Cha asked about like foot locking when you cross in front. And she also showed like if someone foot locks you when you cross your feet in front of their legs, the defense would be to push on the head.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to continue on how to maintain control of the back today, and we might get into a few submissions. I want to go in detail over this closed loop or the head control position. So if we review, right, I have Barry, and we're going to have one grip over the top, and this elbow is usually trying to control the shoulder. And then we have another hand underneath, and we're using our forearm to control the shoulder with the arm that's underneath. Okay, so we're here. Now, just to review, this arm on top is controlling rotation this way. So if Barry wants to turn into me in this direction, I'm holding this elbow, this one here, to control him or prevent him from rotating this direction, right? So I'm using my elbow to keep him back. I can also use my hook to control him from turning in this direction. So if Barry wants to turn this way, I'm going to use my hook to control him to prevent him from turning this direction. And then vice versa, right? So this hand controls this rotation, this leg controls this rotation. But it's not really helpful for us to just try and maintain control of one side of the body, because if Barry tries to go this way, if we're not controlling this side of the body, he can still rotate over our leg that way, in that direction. So when we went over the escape 2 weeks ago, when I was doing it, I talked about cross body control, right? So that is when we're going to reach across the body. If somebody, for instance, is beating our hook, we'll say the traditional escape, which is hand pointing this way, right? They come over the top of our leg. We're going to use cross body control, reaching across the body and pulling ourselves on top to get to the mount and to maintain a dominant position. There's another way to maintain control, and that's by utilizing control of the head, right? So I like to call this kind of the palm picture control. And this is when somebody is going to be hopping over. It doesn't matter. They can hop over the leg, the traditional escape side where they're escaping the choke, or they can hop over on the side where the choke is going to get tighter. It doesn't matter. What you want to do is you want to feed their escape, right? So let's say Barry is hopping over this leg, right? I showed this. We're going to feed this skate by kicking him over, and we're going to utilize our chest pressure against his back to force his head and his chest to the ground. Once we're here, we can start to get parallel, and then we want to pick Barry up. We're going to go onto the choke side, get our hooks back, and get back into control. Okay, so I'll show this one again, and then I'll have Cha and Sarah demonstrate so you can see it on an actual person with pressure. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate this one more time. I'm going to use Blue Man this time because he's heavy. It's going to be difficult for me to get him up, but he's not as floppy. All right. So we're here. I have the back. This time, he is hopping over my leg. From here, I'm going to use my top hook to feed his escape. And this feed for my escape is going to help me feed my own bridge so I can maintain chest pressure and keep his head pinned to the ground. From here, I can run my feet parallel and start to run him to his chest, keep him smashed. And I'm going to go in the direction that my fingers are pointing, step over, and then get back to the back. Okay, so let me walk Cha and Sarah through it one more time. So go ahead, Cha and Sarah. Good. So Sarah is going to maintain, try to escape. She hops over. From here, Cha, there you go. Chest pressure. Good. Yeah. Yep, exactly. And she can also do the escape the other direction too. So she can be escaping into the choke side as well, getting her back flat. You're gonna do the same thing, feed her over, chest pressure, boom. Now, if Sarah goes to turtle, then you're just gonna run to her back if she's turtling. If she's still trying to keep her back flat to the mat, then that's when you'll be able to run your feet parallel, okay? So I don't want you to overthink it. So do it again, just do it again from the top. Start escaping, Sarah. Then hop over. You're gonna feed her escape. So if she runs, if she's turtling, just run to her back like this. She's turtling, so run to her back this way. There you go. Boom. Now say Sarah doesn't turtle. Say she's trying to keep her back flat to the mat as you're feeding the escape for her. Wow. You click her over. She's trying to keep her back flat to the mat. Use your chest pressure, Sarah. Chest pressure. She's still trying to keep her back flat to the mat. Keep your chest behind her back. There you go. There you go. Now I want you to, instead of going straight to your butt, I want you to maintain your feet connected to the ground. So when you're here, right, my chest, sure if you can see me on this side. So I'm keeping my chest to her back, right? Here. Now as I'm trying to get her over, I'm gonna continue to run my feet. I don't wanna go to my butt yet. I want to really drive pressure where I'm trying to get her head to touch the mat. So I'm using my feet and running. I'm gonna run. My feet, keep that pressure. Keep my feet connected to the ground. Then when I'm ready to take her back, I'll come over. Okay. Try it one more time, and then everybody will drill it with their dummies and training partners. So she's gonna escape. Yeah. See the escape for her. Chest pressure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now start running your feet towards her head. Run. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to get her. Yeah. Good. Better. Nice. Question?
I don't know. In the middle of that, Sarah was just like, "This is terrible."
For Sarah? Yeah, the pressure. So, Amy, questions. Was this when you saw it with Sarah and Cha? Did the move start to make a little bit more sense for you, Amy? Okay, awesome. All right, everybody start to drilling, and I'll check in with you guys with any feedback as I see it. Chest pressure. Yeah, run your feet, run your feet. So you don't want to get no, you're not hopping over Sarah. You're going to her back. So you want to get your chest. Yeah. So remember, I don't want you to sit in that way. I want you to pick her up. So she's sitting up and she's here and she's folded in half. Okay. Yeah, 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 Amy. Good job. Start to choose an angle to get your hook in the best. So you can run your feet to left or right, whichever. There you go. Yes, yes. Good job. Do it again, Sarah, one more time. I didn't really get to see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. So instead of like hopping on her and going straight back, Sarah, I want you to pick an angle. So I want to make sure that it is in the camera. Okay. So I'm here. My feet are running. Sometimes you might end up flat, like completely flat. You're going to run your feet up, right? I'm here. I'm folding him in half. Now, I don't want to just sit back like this to my back. That's inefficient. And then also, you're allowing the person, and this blue man is pretty heavy, to use his weight to pin you flat to the back, your back. So it's very difficult for you to get chokes this way. So when you're here and you're running your feet, you're picking that direction. You want to start to pick the direction you want to go. So I'm going to start to run my feet. So I'm behind him. I'm running my feet and picking the direction. Now I'm going to hook my foot to his back and step my leg around. Right? And then I'm going to fall to the hook side. And I'm in. Okay? There you go. Yes. Yes. Better. So you can fall left or right. Just know that how you want to fall, right? Do you want them falling into the choke? Yeah, there you go. So don't fall to your back first. I want you to keep that pressure. Here you go, Amy. So Amy, I don't know how easy this is going to be with your dummy, but typically your feet won't be that close. Your feet will be out here, right? So usually I'm coming in, I might be even belly down, and I'm going to run my feet up and my feet will be out. I won't have my feet like this because now when I'm bent over, folded this way, it's very difficult for me to put pressure. I don't have a very good ramp to direct pressure into the person's back, right? So my feet will be back like I'm in a plank a little bit. I'm driving my hips in, I'm driving hip pressure in, and now I'm gonna cut that angle. Boom. And I want you guys to work this control both directions. Good job. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice, very nice. Feed the skate, pressure on her back. So try not to let your chest be too much on top of her shoulder. Make sure it's right below that scapula trapezius area. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yes. Mm-hmm. A few more. So everybody looking? So sometimes when a person is trying hard to keep their back flat to the mat, you'll lose the control of the head altogether, but you're not losing control of a dominant position or a submission, right? I want you to make sure that you realize what's in your loop, right? So initially, what's in my loop, right? The loop is what's between my hands, is I have his head and his arm. And especially if you're maintaining that wrist control, right? And you're working with open hands with just your hand that's over his neck on his shoulder and your other hand controlling the wrist, right? You have a very good submission. So from here you can either close loop it, where we're stabbing the person in the chest and hiding our I don't want to say this, our submission hand, right? So we're hiding our submission hand by keeping it on the bottom side. Or we're working with open hands and we're having one hand on the wrist and one hand on the shoulder. When the person begins to escape, right? So let's say they're escaping the traditional way and we're trying to maintain control, sometimes the person might flip their head out. But whether you're having your hands closed or open, you still have control of this arm. This arm is still what's in your loop, okay? So we're here. The person's escaping traditional side. We're keeping the pressure, then they escape their head out. Boom, right? We still have this arm over the top. Okay, this arm is still here in our loop, in this loop. From here, I want you guys to maintain pressure on the shoulder. Okay, and this, we're gonna hit our Kimura. So you're gonna maintain pressure on the shoulder. I like to use the part of my rib that sticks out right under my boob, put it right on the shoulder and pin that shoulder to the ground, right? Then I'm gonna use my elbow inside as a wedge to open it up. My hands come together. I can post my foot out for base and then the finish is here. And I like to think of it like hitting a baseball bat, boom. So pinning the shoulder down. We're not using our hands to push. We're using our elbow as a wedge to wedge it out. And then we're finishing here. Okay, so let's watch Sarah and Cha work here. So she can escape either way, yeah. You're gonna see the escape. This time her head pops out. Keep your chest pressure on her shoulder. Yes, yes. Pin her, use your chest to pin her shoulder to the ground. That shoulder should be touching the floor. Yeah. Yeah. So I want you to feel like you're putting your weight through her shoulder. So you can really feel her shoulder completely pinned to the ground. That's how we isolate the shoulder to get your Kimuras, or any shoulder lock, really. Yep. Keep your weight on her shoulder. Keep your chest on her. Keep your weight on her shoulder. Yeah, nice. Questions? Anything, any details you can give to Amy, since she's not working with the training partner?
Is there, because my like body wants to do this other hold on it, because like,
yeah, so
not
you
the
don't
regular
have,
Kimura grip, but the one that goes further?
yeah, that works. So you don't have to have your hand gripping. You can slide it and kind of do this S across the arm. That's perfectly fine. And that's even for normal Kimuras too. because sometimes people have super long arms and our body just doesn't fit perfectly to have the hand to wrist grip, right? So always, you can always use this to choke up on the grip. Yeah. Any questions, Amy? You good to go to try it? All right, awesome. Let's drill it out. Nice. And then your dummy pops his head out. Yes. Try, so get your head on your body on the other side of his head. So your body is going to be on the same side as the Kimura, right? So my body isn't across. This isn't the traditional Kimura. This is a different Kimura. So my body is going to be on the same side as the shoulder that's being locked out. I'm here, right? So his head is completely behind me and I'm locking him out this way. Yeah. So the lockout, the finish is going to be difficult for you to feel, but I want you to just visualize you're putting your rib cage through the shoulder and completely pinning your rib cage to the ground. The shoulder needs to be pinned to the ground in order for the finish to work. Keep your weight on the shoulder. There you go. Yep. Nice, Sarah. I want you guys to be mindful of your weight distribution. Okay, so keep your weight on the dummy. Try not to let your chest weight fall off of your training partner or dummy. So you're putting pressure in or you're trying to keep pressure on top. So when you're switching, Amy, I want you to try to keep pressure on the back. So do it again, and I'm going to tell you when the head slips out, okay? Here, kick over, feed the escape, pressure on the back, start running your feet. No, not yet. The head hasn't slipped out yet. Go back. Go back. If you're losing the control too fast. Right here, boom. Nope, not yet. Go back. Start from the beginning. Start from the top. I'm going to guide you through it. I'll tell you when the head slips out. Boom. All right. Go over, feed the escape. Start keeping chest pressure, Run your feet parallel. Now this is where the head is going to slip back out. So they're going to be forcing themselves to keep their back flat. Yes. Yeah. Now your chest comes on top here. But don't put your hips across. Your hips should be, yeah, on the same side. Yeah. Boom. Right there. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Feeding the escape. Boom. Chest pressure. Run your feet parallel. They're forcing their back to the mat at this point. Forcing their back to the mat. Their head slips out. Yes. Chest pressure. Yeah, exactly. Like that. Yes. Yes, child. Keep your chest pinned on top of her shoulder. So I want you guys to feel that connection where you're behind. I'm using my knee right now as reference, or actually I can use the blue mat. All right. So I'm here, I'm behind, and I want to maintain contact. So my chest pressure is just sliding. It's sliding from behind the shoulder to in front of the shoulder. Okay. I'm not sure if it's the camera, but I think what I'm seeing is here, release of contact here. Does that make sense? Here, release of contact here versus maintaining contact the whole time. Boom, slipping over the top from behind the shoulder to on top of the shoulder. So you guys need to maintain that control as he's slipping out. My chest pressure is here, and I'm just keeping that pressure the entire time. Okay. So those minor details is what's going to make or break your ability to get the finish here. Yes, Shaw, much better. Right, so they're forcing their back to the mat. Yes, Amy, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Amy, very nice, very nice. You guys are killing it now. So you kind of lost contact here. So you can feel, Cha, how the pressure is loose, so you can kind of slip out. Yeah, yeah. So if you hop over like that, you're kind of putting yourself in a fireman's carry, right? So, right? You're kind of putting yourself in like a fireman's carry position. So maintain that pressure on the back, try to keep them folded. And then you're just like alleviating a little bit of pressure so you slip over the top. Run your feet parallel, run your feet parallel. There you go, Sarah. All right, so you're not going, so you're missing it now. From here, if she's folded in half like that, Sarah, you're just gonna take her back. So put your hand, switch your hands over. So your hand should be, her head should be between your arms, right? So you're gonna switch to the corner as she's forcing her back to the ground. as you're making that transition to run your feet parallel, she's forcing her back to the ground. So I'll tell you, Cha, when your head's slipping out. Okay? I'm gonna do it again. Here, Cha, you're forcing your back to the ground. So run, yeah, now your head's gonna slip out. Start trying to slip your head out, Cha. There you go. There you go, just like that. Mm-hmm. So you won't always be able to use your hand to push your arm out like that, Sarah. So you put your elbow in and you use it as a wedge. Okay. Instead of using your hand to push, elbow in, wedge it out. So like say Cha is holding on to her belt or her thigh. Yeah, she's gonna be super strong. You can't get it out. Yeah, elbow in, put your elbow all the way to the ground. Yeah, no, we'll use it as a wedge. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So several things. You guys want to maintain this weight on top, right? If you're over the top like this and you're starting to lose chest pressure and you're losing control of keeping the head folded and you don't have pressure on the shoulder, there's nothing preventing them from running away or turning into you and trying to get a takedown if they're a good wrestler. So you need to keep your weight on the shoulder and keep them pinned to the ground. The other thing is you need to prevent them from turning into you, right? So he wants to turn in this way. When he turns in this way, that feeds the elbow, right? From being outside to bringing the elbow back close to the body and to the ground. That's going to feed the defense and the escape for the shoulder, the Kimura lock. So you need to keep your weight on top of the shoulder, and your body is as a wall, preventing them from turning into you, okay? You don't want them turning into you and spinning out. Just a few more, and then you guys can start adding the armbar on top of this. Yeah. All right, let's look in. So I'm going to start from the Kimura, right? So let's say the person gets their elbow out the hole and they're pushing their arm across the body. This is where you can start to set up for the armbar. He's very. All right, so I'm here. Boom, he starts to get his elbow out and pushing it across the body. This is when I'm going to start driving up, pulling him into the knee on belly position, and I can start to work myself across into the armbar. So Masa and Cha. So one more time. Okay, so you're watching. Okay, one more time. So I'm here in the Kimura lock. Boom. They're either escaping their elbow or they're pushing their arm and their body super across their body. So I can't control it anymore. So from here, I'm going to run my feet, get my knee in the center, just like the north-south position. I can put my body over the cross, step my leg over, and get into the armbar from here. Go ahead and give it a try. So we're just adding the armbar on top of the Kimura lock, Cha. Figure out your setup for a minute.
Sorry, my laptop decided it was a great time to update.
Yeah, oh, that's it.
On the phone. And then we get to more shit. I can't. It's my bad. All right, yeah, it should be tied up. One here, here, here. Sure. I think that's what she wanted her. I think so. At that point, but yeah. You are getting out some ways. Like here, your hair. Hair. Yep. I'm not ready. It's not jujitsu ready. I need 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 bands. somehow. This is our body. Was it a what type of put your knee shin on my, yep. And down. Baby's over there. There it is. No problem. Very chill, we're on Zoom. That's okay. Not even too far, but that's okay. All right. It's okay. Mess. A hot, hot mess. Is this jujitsu? It's pretty close. I wonder if she's talking. No.
All right, you guys, last rep. Let's finish it. Look in.
Okay, I'll wrestle you.
All right, any questions there? Sarah, since you guys have your mics on, how was that today?
Is our mic on?
Yeah.
The transition is awkward. That's why we're laughing. I am just having the most awkward transition into the controlling the shoulder, but I think part of it's we're trying to like be gingerly and nice to each other, but pressure thing.
Yeah, so it's this move, you kind of have to work together a little bit to allow your partner to get their head out, and then you'll get the timing for when you're gonna come on top. It'll make that transition from trying to control the back to the Kimura a lot easier. Also, don't feel too bad as you're trying to maintain control of the head and get to the back. That was a hard one for me too, because I feel the strain a lot in my back. The way traditionally I've been taught is like we're completely belly down and we're kind of army crawling back up to our feet that way, which is a lot of pressure on my lower back. And you have to keep your core tight that entire time so you don't put pressure on your back. So I kind of modified it a little bit where my belly is not completely flat, but the trick there is you have to make sure that your chest beats their back to the floor. If their back gets to the floor before your chest beats them to it, then they're pretty much escaping. Does that make sense? Right? And you don't want to get your chest too high like it's on top of the shoulder. There's a few times I saw you guys get your chest on top of the shoulder and the person's sitting up and your hips are on the other side. And I need you to understand, like you're kind of putting yourself in a fireman's carry position. The person can just flip you over that way, you know, if they understand. your weight distribution, how to get you on top. So maintaining the pressure behind the shoulder and keeping them pushed forward so they are forced to push back. That's the control point. And also either keeping your chest in front of their shoulder so you're pushing their weight back. And they're using a lot of core to try and maintain themselves forward. Those are your control points there. Okay. Any other questions?
So the transition's the transition's a little tricky. Is it?
We'll continue to work on it. I'll try to shoot a video sometimes this week where I can explain it a little bit better and in detail with the training partner. And what about you, Amy? Any questions?
Just trying to pretend like my dummy's a real person and it's actually real. Yeah. I guess I did have a question. It might be similar to the transition in the sense that like the way I've learned it is always you kind of just like tuck your knee behind and swing to the other side when recovering that escape. But you taught it differently in that you kind of bring them up to this like panda sitting position and go from there. I was wondering if there was a reason for that.
I do tuck my leg behind first before I come in. So I get them into that position where they're folded over. All right. I get them in this position. And then as I'm going in, I'm tucking my leg in. It's kind of hard for me to demonstrate with the dummy, but I am coming in and tucking my leg in and stepping over when I actually do take the back. Now, the reason why you want the dummy completely folded over is this is them completely compromised. What are they gonna do like this? Not a whole lot, especially with your weight on their back, keeping them folded in half, right? So it's not gonna be a very easy position for them to defend against. They're kind of at your mercy and where you go to relieve pressure for them. Does that make sense? Any other questions? No? All right, I will see you guys on Saturday for our workout, ending it a little early today because I have to run to the bathroom. But I'll see you guys. Feel free to hit me up if you have any other questions today, and I'll try to get you the video on this position later on in the week.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.